Hey folks, Linda here from Back Third Acre. Today we're going to talk about 5 key tips to growing great peppers. So tip number 1 is sun placement. So peppers like a lot of heat, but they don't need a lot of direct sunlight. So they need about 6 to 8 hours of direct sun. The intensity of the sun in the late afternoon can burn or scald your peppers once they start fruiting. So having some afternoon shade for your pepper plants is extremely important, or you'll get scald on the peppers. The scald is where the surface of the pepper has become burnt due to the intensity of the heat. So it's right where the sun would be hitting on that pepper. So if you're planting your peppers in pots, you want to make sure that they are in a place that you can give them some afternoon shade, or have some shade cloth handy that you can put over them to protect them, or plant them in a place where they're getting that morning sun and that maybe other plants nearby are providing some protection from the intense sun later in the day. So tip number 2 is about spacing. Peppers like to hold hands, so they like to be planted close together, and even within a few inches of each other. You can plant them very closely or in pairs, and it doesn't affect their productivity. So feel free to snug them up nice and close to each other and make use of the space that you've got. You can even plant more than one pepper in a pot, and like I said, it doesn't affect their productivity. So in order to plant more peppers, you can double them up that way. But they should be kept further away, so 15 to 18 inches from other plants. So they like each other, but they don't like other plants in close proximity. So if you're planting them near tomatoes, for example, make sure that they've got 15 to 18 inches in between them and the other type of plant. But snug those peppers up close together and maximize your space. Tip number 3 is around their watering needs. So inconsistent watering for peppers results in blossom end rot, and it's frequently associated with tomatoes where they get that brown rotting marks on the bottoms of the fruit. So peppers can get that as well as a result of inconsistent watering. So if you're letting them really dry out, they're all wilty, and then you give them water and then let them dry out completely again, and they're not looking so great, that really can damage the fruit and lead to blossom end rot. So if you're growing in pots, bottom watering is the best, so that they can draw that water up right through their roots. And if you're planting in the ground, then mulching around them with straw is a good idea to prevent the moisture from evaporating from the surface, and helping keep a consistent moisture level or temperature as well with your peppers that are in the ground. So tip number 4 is temperature. So peppers are like the nights to be between 13 and 18 degrees Celsius before they get put out at night. And if they do encounter some colder temperatures, then you risk them becoming stunted. And if the peppers become stunted during a bit of a cold snap, or you've put them out too early, they may not recover at all, and you just have a really low producing plant for the rest of that season. So hold off as long as you can. Wait till those nighttime temperatures are between 13 and 18 degrees Celsius before you move them outside. Our final tip is about harvesting. So as those peppers are beginning to produce fruit, they're like beans in that you need to pick them in order to tell the plant, or you send the message to the plant that they need to produce more. So as soon as they produce their first one, left it there, then they just think they've done their job. Great, we're just going to produce one pepper, we've fruited, all's good, and they can just relax for the rest of the season. And we don't want that to happen. We want to get more peppers. So for the first 4 or 5 peppers that your plant produces, you're going to want to pick them when they're about half blushed. So as they're starting to turn that red color, so away from the green. So when they're half blushed, you can pick them. You can still ripen them inside, put them in a bag with a ripe tomato or with other ripe peppers into a paper bag, and they will ripen right up and you can eat them. So the first 4 to 5 peppers off of your plant early in the season, pick them, and that will send the message to your plant that they need to produce more fruit. Thanks for joining me, and I wish you all the best with your pepper growing this year.